There's a lot of hubbub on the Twitter and the Reddit and the wherever you talk about Destiny about a rumor of Bungie being bought by Sony. And yeah, it's true. Sony has or is in the process of buying Bungie for $3.5 billion, somewhere around that metric. And I wanted to talk about it because I feel like this is a substantial turning point for Destiny as a game and Bungie as a studio, as far as how they develop their games, what we can expect in the future, if we're gonna be okay. Are we gonna continue to have the things we do now? Are we gonna lose some things? Are things gonna get worse or better? And I want to talk about what you can expect in the aftermath of this deal. Let's start with crossplay, because that's probably the most important thing people want to know about. It's not going anywhere. Crossplay will still be in the game regardless of the deal. No matter what, everything is going to be fine on that front. You don't need to worry about losing friends or whatever. You are fine. Crossplay is still in the game. Stop yelling. What's gonna happen to Bungie? Some of you may remember that back in the old days of Destiny, it was published and overseen by Activision. Microtransactions, the DLC cycle, what content was allowed to be put in the game or taken out for DLC, all of that was done by Activision. What does that mean now that Bungie is no longer independent like it has been for the past couple years? And what does that mean for the game and the content that we get? Sony has explicitly stated that Bungie will still essentially be independent. Their support is financial only, and they have small oversight into what the game can have from a financial perspective. So things like Eververse are probably bound to get worse for us, but DLCs maybe are going to be mostly intact. Witch Queen, I can reckon it's gonna work the same way Beyond Light did. Big content drop, lots of changes, 4 consecutive seasons, another big content drop with some seasonal events sprinkled in between for money. And I don't want people to be really upset about this deal, because in reality it probably helps Bungie more than it hinders them. Bungie has really struggled with staying consistent with the amount of content they can provide as of the 2 years that we've gone on with this whole no Activision deal. Shadowkeep was an absolute disaster, but it laid down the groundwork for Beyond Light and the seasons afterwards, and they've mastered that formula to the point where we don't need to worry about content for a while. I think we'll be happy with what we get, and with Sony financially supporting Bungie, giving workforce support, helping with development, it'll just make us a better game to play. I don't want people to be scared of this Bungie deal, because we love Bungie, we love Destiny, it's our video game. We like it, I like it, sometimes when it's not shit. Long story short, don't worry about the deal. It is financial support only. The game will still be just fine. However, you can expect Eververse to be a lot more dominant, especially during the off times when Bungie isn't really doing anything. One thing you can expect though is the way that they develop the DLC. With more support means more potential for DLC during the year, so there is potential for us to gain even more content in between big expansions than normal. Maybe we could see an overhaul of seasonal events, because those need an overhaul really badly. Who knows? It's honestly, it's all up in the air at this point. However, there is one thing that does worry me about this. If you guys remember a game called Anthem, it is basically a looter shooter, A looter shooter that flopped right on its face at release. Everyone knows the horror story of Anthem and what happened to it, but the main thing that killed that game was the publisher pulled workforce from the game's development to make it better to another game. Now, that is personally my fear for what may happen with Bungie, is if they deem development of Destiny 2 not profitable enough in terms of keeping the player base happy, they may strip workforce to work on different projects. Or they could do the exact opposite and provide workforce to make the game better. And that's kind of one of those things that's up in the air for people to wonder and speculate about whether it'll actually be good for Bungie or bad for Bungie. And it's just going to be one of those things we have to wait and see. That is definitely one of my main worries though, seeing as Sony is working on a lot of projects and what have you. However, another thing that could possibly be an issue is PlayStation exclusives. PlayStation exclusives are nothing new to Destiny. They've been in the game since Destiny existed. I feel like they might just be a little bit more egregious now that Sony owns Bungie. And if you own the people that make the game, you can kind of pull a little bit of strings to get the best exclusives for it. I hope this isn't the case. I hope we don't lose out on big chunks of content because Sony owns Bungie. We'll wait and see, but man, I'm kind of half and half. On one side, I'm really happy Bungie now has support so that they continue to focus on making the game better while not having to worry about the monetization as much as they have been recently. But I'm also worried that Sony might actually end up hurting the game's development rather than helping it if they decide to extend their reach a little too hard, which is what Activision did, which wasn't cool because then everyone got mad. Anyways, I kind of want to hear what you guys have to say about this because, I don't know, it's an interesting debate. I wonder how people react to Bungie now being part of a corporation again. So feel free to let me know down below because honestly, I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. But anyways, that'll be all from me. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and or dislike button if you feel so inclined to do so. And please make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with the stuff that I post. I try to post every single week and it would just mean the world to me. So anyways, thank you all so much for watching and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.